Good evening, Jersey Shore. I'm your anchor, Bon Burgundy, here in Golden Eagle Studio.
And I'm your co-anchor, APES Poopsie.
Tonight's report is about the current superstorm rumbling, bumbling, and stumbling down the East Coast. Hurricane Sandy has left millions without power, reaching $20 billion in property damage.
Wow, Bon, those are some scary statistics. Now we'll be taking you live to your field reporters Sam Wilson and Tammy
Thanks,
DeVito.
boys. We can already see some major effects in the environment. Thousands are left without habitats, including people and the wildlife. Streets are being flooded with water. Concerns are being raised about the contamination of water. This is a result of sewage overflow, oil spills, floating debris, and industrial chemicals threatening lives. Back to you, APES.
Now we'll send you to New York, where Tammy is live on the streets with some New Yorkers.
Red Cross has been contributing millions of dollars to recovery by providing food, shelter, housing, vehicles, equipment, and personal services, as well as holding a blood drive right here in Times Square. The government has also contributed about $60 million in emergency spending. The storm has caused some real damage. Here's a New Yorker walking through the debris of Hurricane Sandy. Hello.
Hello.
How has Hurricane Sandy affected you and your family?
Me and my family are struggling. We got a lot going on. There's a lot of havoc between the family, and it's bringing tension with everything. And we just we're keeping a worry on all the food, water, and loss of resources.
I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully everything works out for you.
Thanks, Tammy. So Sam, what are the long-term effects looking like?
Well, Bon, many manufacturing sites have been forced to close, which causes delays not only in the immediately affected area, but in the industrial supply chains all around the region. There is no balance between supply and demands because resources are plummeting. This is affecting productivity and causing setbacks in the industries. Specifically, the travel and tourism industry will have the largest disruption. Also, reconstruction will take many years to complete, and employment rates seem to have dropped by 0.5%, and there will be a large cutback in most of the gross domestic products. This will all delay countries and set them back for over a year. Now back to APES with how the storm formed and occurred.
It seems that Sandy has begun as a tropical wave in the Caribbean, but quickly developed into a tropical storm within 6 hours. As it tore through the Caribbean, it gained strength and opened over water and crashed onto the land. Bon, what are some facts about the storm?
Well, APES, sadly, Hurricane Sandy took the lives of 285 individuals. That is 285 families that have now lost loved ones due to this natural disaster. This superstorm also reached a wind speed of 115 miles per hour. It was a Category 3 hurricane. This was a disaster that the East Coast will surely learn from. Hey Tammy, what are some implications states have put in effect to help you better prepared for this in the future?
Thanks, Bon. States like New York have proposed a special initiative for rebuilding and resilience for future storms. This initiative includes over 257 projects. Some states have also begun to redesign power stations and sewage systems to prevent future issues. These redesigns include building stone reinforcements to avoid more flooding. New York has also attempted to fortify the city, a strategy we will surely see other cities begin to implement into their future safety plans. An example of this fortification includes a sea gate to close off the harbor from rising swells of water. Would you like to add any more to the environmental effects, APES?
Of course, Tammy. Thanks for all that thrilling information about changes because of the storm. Now, for some more environmental effects, we saw that the storm had major flooding everywhere. In this process, water became contaminated, and E. coli and other pesticides are now floating everywhere on the East Coast. Sewage and other pollutants were also washed away in the roads, resulting as flooding and occurred on the harbors and the rivers. Another direct effect of seabirds they're sadly stuck up in Sandy for their fierce winds. Poor birds. Back to you, Bon.
Thanks, APES. We see here that Hurricane Sandy made life chaotic for the people of the East Coast. It is truly saddening to hear. This week of October 22nd through October 31st will go down in history as one of the most miserable days for the East Coast. Thanks for watching your favorite evening news channel. You stay classy, Jersey Shore.